We begin with gratitude. Gratitude for the family that we are. And take a breath into your heart and feel how it's expanded just today. And let the hearts of the family around you touch yours. Feel the magnificence of this country and the opening of the heart of Kalei to welcome us. Now that she has shown herself to us at the caldera, you each take a piece of her home. If not physically, you take it home spiritually. And you keep that part of her awake in your heart, in your soul, in your being for the rest of your time on this planet. What a beautiful addition to your Akash, your Lemurian Akash, coming home to the love of the island and the heart of Kalei, where Kryon can come to us from limitlessness to our humanity, but our very expanded understanding of how our humanity is being touched this day.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. For those listening, we are in the Volcano National Park of Hawaii. It's a place my partner has frequented many times. He's been shown some of the majesty by the Kahunas, both genders. I want to tell you about the celebration, about the subject. Well, this is not the first time that a group has sat and enjoyed an energy that is extremely special. Dear ones, it's not the energy of Lemuria, really, or even of that from the teachers. It's Gaia, and that's what I want to talk about. So many times we have mentioned the sentient being that Gaia is. You sit and you feel something. And it doesn't matter if the sun is shining on you or whether the blessing of the rain is coming or you're wet with the dew from the fog. It doesn't matter. For the life, the presence of Gaia knows you're here. We have told you before that nature, which you call Mother Nature, although it seemed to have preceded you as a human race, it was preparing for you as a human race. We have also told you that Gaia knows you, and that the planet itself had been created for the compassion that is coming of the human being. So I want you to sit for a moment while I give you this story. The story of Gaia. We have done this so many places in the planet. We sat in places that felt like this, with the majesty of the Grand Canyon. Places that felt like this in the Green Isle of Ireland, places that felt like this in Lower Bavaria. And the personality of Gaia was identical. Puts the arms around you and says, welcome. I know who you are. Do you find it interesting that the weather is what it is today? Do you find it interesting that this aspect follows my partner wherever he goes? And it has nothing to do with my partner. It has to do with those who surround him, who create an energy of love and compassion, of expectation. People have asked, is it possible for consciousness to change the weather? Well, before I answer that, I want you to go back metaphorically and ask an indigenous right before they do ceremony to change the weather. They knew it. Today it's just a little too eye-rolling and scientific to think that perhaps the consciousness of the few could change the physics around them, to create rain or to keep it away, or for just a moment or two to have the sun shine upon you for a ceremony that is precious. The answer is yes. The experiments with consciousness and physics have proved, even to the scientist, that a group of human beings can affect the physics of the planet. This is not metaphysical, this is science. How much more of a stretch is it to think that a group of high consciousness could then change the weather? And you can, and you have. Welcome to your own miracle right now. Gaia knows who you are. If you interview a tree hugger, you say, why? Why are you so enamored with nature? What is it that you feel when you go and you hug that tree that's so favorite of yours? And all over the world, in any language, the answer will be the same. Somehow, for a moment or two, it gives me peace that goes beyond anything I could create myself. It's almost like all of nature reached out for a moment to say, I know you. Thank you for being here. If you extend that to what you believe is possible here, they know all of you. It's almost like every single return, the earth says, welcome back. Welcome back. We've given channels before where we said to those who were born in the city, get out of the city at least for a while, put your feet in the dirt so you can feel this beautiful mother who knows who you are. This is the Garden of Eden, earth, not where you sit, earth. It is the garden that was prepared for humanity. Now, what do you suppose went into that creation, that unusualness? And is it specific to this planet? And the answer is yes. All the things placed here, and the evolution that we spoke of, the science that we quote for you, all of these things start to come together in a plan, perhaps a mysterious puzzle. But the puzzle all points to one thing. It's the magnificence of the human that is being celebrated for what is potentially possible in each of you. Why do people walk into the woods? Why do you sit in the grass? Why do you want to hear the birds? Because there is a transmission of peace to you. This transmission, I want you to feel now, there are those here who are having difficulty, literally, with peace in their heart, in their mind, in their lives. I know who's here. I know who's listening. But this is especially for those who sit on the grass right in front of me. Dear ones, don't let this opportunity go by. You sit in a very special place, a powerful place. You have been told of the goddess Kalei. Kalei is not worshipped. Kalei is a legendary helper. But what Kalei does is the strength of Gaia as you see it in the fire of the mountain, and the protector, the eliminator of negativity. In so many cultures, there are helpers, perhaps called gods and goddesses, that do the same. Protectors, enhancers, those who would then take away the negativity. Humans need this kind of linearity in order to see it work. So let's watch it work. For right now, you sit in Kalei's house. And Kalei knows you. Gaia knows you. This would be a good time, right now, to take away the negativity of what you might have brought from around the world, or from next door if you live here. To let it be cleansed and cleaned so that you would have peace of mind and understand who you are, perhaps for the first time. We've said this before. The hardest thing for a human being to do is to understand this for themselves. You should be able to create peace by yourself because the engine within you is so grand and comes from a source that is astonishing. You ought to be able to throw a switch and have all the negativity go away. But what gets in the way is the duality, the intellect, the doubting, and an akash that perhaps is filled with remembrances of never being able to get ahead. So why not for a moment release these things and let the planet have them? Let the planet have them. Ask the tree hugger, does this work or not? And they say, that is why there's a beaten, trodden path to that tree. Because I go every single morning, every single night. And Gaia hugs me, and I feel so peaceful, and I can walk and work my whole day. Well, there's a lot of trees here. You sit on sacred ground. The teaching about Lemuria should tell you that. This is sacred. Matched with the fact that the teaching here says you are sacred. There is a compliance of thought, a coherence of energy between you and this planet. If you can't feel it, then you're having a nice sleep. I want you to feel this. I wouldn't tell you these things unless it was absolutely true and real. In this new energy, there are so many who are now just discovering the things that have always been. You might not know this, but worldwide, so many of the secrets of the indigenous are being revealed. It's almost like they understand fully that the precession of the equinoxes has passed. Their prophecies have been fulfilled, and it's safe. And the secrets of the indigenous are the ones that I am speaking of now. You see, they know Gaia. And the modern human being of the age does not. And these things that I have channeled before must come together. Because Gaia is your partner, and the strength of the compassion that you have. Now let us hook this up so you understand a little more about why the earth is considered one soul group. And why, when you touch Gaia here or on the other side of the planet, you're touching the same soul group. And here's why. I said Gaia is your partner, and you know this. The compassion that you will develop that is new, the peace that you can have that is new, the information about you and the planet that you are starting to absorb does not stay with you. When any of you take these things and walk out into a pasture or grass as you see around you, any of you, and you share it with Gaia, it becomes worldwide. Are you understanding this? Gaia and humanity must ally, just like the indigenous understood and knew, because this is the communication of what you know and understand and the compassion you may have for the rest of the planet. It cannot stay in one spot where you're standing. And the vehicle is Gaia. For it is all together at the same place all over the planet. You touch one tree, you touch them all. I channeled that recently. If you have the information of the compassion and the joy of this new energy, Gaia will feel it, and it will be felt in other places. 200 people having compassion for the planet, for peace on earth. In this magic holiday time, 200 people on the grass, sitting in Gaia, will transmit an energy of whatever this group is to the planet instantly. I like to tell individuals, I say, if you're going to have a prayer meeting, if you're going to have a meditation, it'd be much better if it were not in a building. Because if you can go outside in the elements, you touch the communication of Gaia. What I am giving you is ancient. What I'm giving you is simple Simon 101 Gaia. That an indigenous mother or father would sit and tell their child. It has to start somewhere for you to understand the alliance you have where you sit. What did you feel at the volcano? Was there peace there? What monstrous energy, truly, something that would be very fearful if you could see it, truly, in its powerful form. But what it gives you as you look upon it, feedback of peace. All of that power speaks peace to you. That's Gaia saying it is safe here. That is Gaia saying welcome to a very special, special mountain. That's Gaia giving you the invitation to give back something. Because what you do, human being, in your compassionate source as a group cannot be matched by any energy on earth. Because you carry a piece of the Creator inside you. Now, I'll give you something just to think about before we close. If this process is possible, a small group out in the open touching that which is Gaia, therefore touching the entire planet, if that is possible, just pretend for a moment. Is there also a system, just pretend, that would take the compassionate Earth and amplify it all over the galaxy? I'm not going to say much more, but I just gave you the reason you're here. Think on these things. There's a system. You are not apart from anything you're looking at. Celebrate it and then use it. And so it is.